What's going on, guys? This is Gainz Gaming. Today we are looking at the Zone 5 fights and what all went down. So as of right now, we don't have the kill event, unfortunately. I really liked having that to show how many kill points I was gaining, but I do have the numbers from what I was at before. But as of right now, I'm at 88 million power. Do have a full hospital right now, so that will go up, but 7,886,000,000 kill points. And looking at the total amount of kills I have gained so far, we are at 28.3 million kills. So we are just short of our 30 million kill. So in this zone, I used 11 different commanders, and the worst performing commander was one I actually subbed in pretty late into the zone, which was Alexander the Great. Now, I was using William Wallace and Luce for a majority of the zone, but toward the end, I was just feeling like instant proc damage was way more valuable. Even though William Wallace Luce is a better combo, I wanted Alexander the Great in there just for his instant proc damage, and I started trading a lot better. So Alexander the Great finished the zone with 1,433,318 total kills. Again, pretty late into the zone, so not a whole lot of fighting for Alexander the Great. However, I did do some city popping with him. Just to be completely honest, I did do some city popping with him, so some of that is from just jumping out of the city and jumping back in with instant proc damage. The number 10 commander is pretty shocking. This is actually Scipio Prime. Scipio Prime finished the zone with 2,134,778 total kills. Now, the most bizarre thing, this is the craziest thing I have ever seen in my entire time playing Rise of Kingdoms, but I paired Scipio Prime with Guan Yu. And Guan Yu also got exactly 2,134,778 kills. Not even kidding, they had the exact same number of kills in the zone being paired together. So they truly were a 50-50 combo, which is honestly just insane to me. I don't even know how that is possible, but they were 50-50 between the entire zone. Now, our number 8 commander was Huka Bing, who I was pairing sometimes with Ragnar Prime and sometimes with Joan Prime, kind of mixing around my pairings. At the end, I was using him with Joan Prime, but it was kind of 50-50 on what I was using, trying to figure out what was trading the best. And he finished the zone with 2,370,936 total kills. And then coming in at number 7 is William Wallace. Again, I was using him for a majority of the zone with Luce, and he came in with a total of 2,524,917 total kills. This is really the second KVK I've been playing with him, so still very, very solid. I'm hoping to put him back in the lineup for our next fight. And now number 6 is Ragnar Prime, coming in with a total of 2,544,850 total kills. Obviously, first time using him, so he was at 0. That is his total kills for the zone. Again, pairing him with both Nevsky and with Huka Bing, kind of switching them around. At the end, I was using him with Nevsky majority of the time. Now, coming into our top 5 rankings, number 5 is Herman Prime. Herman Prime finished with 2,578,121 total kills. Then at number 4 is Zeuge, who was paired with Herman Prime, coming in with a total of 2,584,375 kills. And now coming down to our top 3 commanders. These ones are typically in the top 3 every single time. I'm sure you can guess them. But number 3, surprisingly, is Joan Prime. Joan coming in with 2,619,249 kills. She typically is pretty close to number 1 with Luce, but this time around she came in at number 3, being paired with Huka Bing and sometimes with Nevsky, but toward the end she was being paired with Huka Bing. And then number 2, who was paired primarily with Ragnar Lodbrok, was Nevsky, coming in at 2,786,909 total kills. And finally, I'm sure you guessed it, number 1 is who else? Luce, coming in at number 1 with 4,242,206 total kills. Pretty insane. I mean, I'm not shocked that he has that many kills. He is just an insane commander. If you're not using him, you are losing out on so much value. He is just absolutely insane. But I mean, it's been so expensive. I can't even explain how expensive this has been. As you can see, I still have a good amount of resources remaining, but if you want to see how insanely expensive this is, I have gained around 530, 550 million kill points, give or take, and the amount of resources that I've spent is 17.5 billion resources that I have spent in this KVK so far for 500 million kill points. That is absurd. So I have spent 5.8 billion food, 4.5 billion wood, 3.4 billion stone, and 3.7 billion gold. That's insane. That is so expensive, I cannot even fathom it. And this is from pop-ups and a mountain warfare. Like, it's not that I haven't done any tech. I have decent tech, but the players that we're fighting against, 1316 and 1188, these are all mega whales. Like, pretty much everybody in the field is going to have 6 marches, full iconic gear, much better gear than me, and max tech. And that's just the reality of it. This KVK has so many max tech players. It is so difficult if you are not max tech. And at the same time, this is a 1v2. Like, I know that we have another kingdom in our section, but I'm going to pull up a picture here and really showcase. I think this is the first day of fighting, and it was honestly insane. So this was posted by Foe on Facebook, all these stats from I believe the first day of fighting, the first opening. And the left side is just all the players that have been contributing. So this is also going to include farm accounts. Now on the right side over here, we have players that are 57 million power and up and over 50 million kill points. So that's going to be taking out mostly farm accounts. And so then what you really look at is the different kingdoms, not just the camps, but the different kingdoms. So you see 1960 has 151 players, over 57 million power and over 50 million kill points. They have 56 billion kill points in that range. And if you look at the kill points based on account age, you can see the total amount of kill points for those players combined is just under 1.9 trillion kill points. Now you go to 1188 and 1316, you can see, about half of what 1960 is, a little over half. 32.9 billion kill points for 1188 with 83 players, which is crazy. And then you look at 1316 with 28 billion kill points with 63 players, which is even crazier. Then you look at the kill points based on account age there, 659 billion for 1188 and then 456 billion for 1316. Now you get to our camp. We have 1262 with 3.1 billion kill points with 34 players, over 57 million power and 50 million kill points. And then us with 47, almost pretty much 48 billion kill points with 125 players. Now, I want you to think about that one more time. 1262, our camp ally, so basically like we could have been matched with 1316 or 1188 is essentially what we're talking about here. So 1262 should equal, theoretically, either 1188 or 1316, and you can see that's not the case. And I'm not trying to bash our allies, this is just looking at the stats. This is just looking at what each kingdom is contributing. And you can see it is one-sided entirely. You had players that almost achieved 3 billion kill points in the zone itself, and you have an entire kingdom that is achieving 3.1 billion in a day with 34 players. And the kill point based on account age is 89 billion kill points versus 1846 is 904 billion kill points. Now, that's pretty good stats for us, of fighting against 1188 and 1316, which are very, very strong for their kingdom size. And then we look at 2489, which was fighting 1960, and we can see that they have 53.8 billion kill points amongst their 125 players, which is fantastic. That's very, very solid. And then their kill point based on account age is about 1.35 trillion. So now if we go down on the bottom a little bit more, we can see the kill point breakdown based off of kingdoms. So at the time of this data collection, nobody had over 2 billion kill points. By the end of the second day, there were like 6 players, I think, that had over 2 billion kill points. But we can see 1960 had 91 players over 250 million, 30 over 500 million, 7 over 1 billion, and 1 over 1.5 billion. 1188 had 54 over 250, 22 over 500 million, 3 over 1 billion, and nothing above that. 1316, this is crazy, 32 players over 250 million, 19 over half a billion, 7 over 1 billion, and 5 over 1.5 billion. Then you look at 1262, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You look at 1846, 82 players over 250 million. I believe that included myself. 32 players over half a billion, 3 players over 1 billion. Then we look at 2489, 88 players over 250, 41 players over 500, 6 players over 1 billion, and 1 player over 1.5 billion. So these numbers show you a lot of information here as well, because you see the different kingdoms that are achieving a ton of kills include 1316, I would say is number 1 here because of 5 players over 1.5 billion and the same amount of players over 1 billion as 1960. But like, it's just insane how many strong fighters you have in these A seed kingdoms in 1316 and 1188. And so when we look at the information that we have here in the rankings and we look at alliance kills, like obviously things are moved around right now, but 1188 before KVK was above 1846 in WIB. I do actually have to move back to there because, you know, we're moving everything around right now. But the amount of kills that these players have are just insane. And there's not really any other way to explain that. Besides, you know, you just have crazy, crazy fighters in these A seed kingdoms. And the unfortunate news or the unfortunate reality here is that we were essentially by ourselves. And I didn't know that. I heard really good things about 1262, and I really hope they show up in Kingsland. That definitely could still be an option. But now I'm hearing they're mostly a free-to-play kingdom, and they shouldn't really be in this KVK. It's kind of the best way to describe that, because, you know, you have 2 of the best kingdoms in the game, 1960 and 2489. You have probably two of the best A seed kingdoms, 1188 and 1316, and then 1846 as well, which is still probably a top 10 kingdom right now. And then you have 1262, which I think is like a mid-tier A seed kingdom from what I've heard, but now it's looking like they are probably less than that. Like they should probably be a B seed kingdom based on the contribution they've had in this zone, which, trust me, I understand how demoralizing it is just getting wrecked every single time you go out. And I understand, like, I'm sure some of their fighters are like, I am trading horrendously. I'm not going to fight like this. I don't care. I'm not going to fight this if I'm going to trade this bad, which I understand. Like, I understand you want to trade well, you want to get good stats, but at the same time, everyone has to sacrifice, and everyone is going to be struggling here fighting against these crazy kingdoms. And I can tell you this, it's going to be even worse fighting against 1960, even more expensive. Granted, I will have better tech by then. I will have better stratagems by then. So, you know, over the course of time, we'll get better, but I will be hopefully updating with more updated stats if I get them. But, you know, let me know down below what you guys thought about this zone. But I think personally that 1316 and 1188 outperformed way more than we thought they were going to. Granted, during their downtime, they do have a lot of pilots. A lot of these mega kingdoms do have pilots, and that's, you know, part of the game. But our downtime, especially last night, at the time of this recording, last night was the second day in this zone. We had like nobody online. I was streaming for like 3 hours. There were like 6 players from 1846 that were fighting. And it's like, dude, where is everybody? I don't know what is going on. And 1188 and 1316 were in their uptime. And so they're burning the crap out of us, because it's like, we got 6 players online right now. Basically, 6 players in the field, that is. And they have like 50 different accounts that are just running around. And it's like, this is just absurd. Like, you walk out and you get melted in 2 seconds. And so I've been trading on average like 70% at best. Most of my trades have been 40 to 80% at this point. So that means that my enemies that I'm fighting against would essentially have half this amount of resources spent for the same amount of kill points and the same amount of kills gained, which is just disgusting to think about. But this is by far, I think this is the most I've spent in a KVK so far. I would have to look at my other videos where I've detailed, the resources spent, but also in speed ups. I don't think I've showed that yet. But looking at speed ups, I still have 1,476 days remaining, so I still have speed ups. I had 50 days of healing speed ups, and I had about almost 1,800 days of universals. So that means I've gone through almost 400 days of speed ups already, over a year of speed ups, which is pretty insane. Healing, full T5 pretty much every single time. But I'm excited to see what the next zone looks like. We are going to be retreating out of here, so I'll be heading back to zone 4, stocking up for the next zone. We won't have a fight here, but we will have a ruins fight, and then zone 7 fight coming up very, very soon, probably in the next week or so, I believe. But if you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like and subscribe. I will probably, hopefully, be able to put in some more data into this video. Otherwise, I'll make like a community post if I don't get it in time. But again, let me know what you guys think about this KVK so far. If you are in this KVK, let me know down below as well. And I'll see you guys hopefully in future live streams and future videos. Have a great rest of your day.